Alright guys, let's wait a couple of more seconds before we start. I love this game, as one certain individual used to say. Let me just write down one certain banner. Dynamo Kyiv versus Juventus. 0. Strange to write 0. Actually a clean sheet. Wow. Full time reactions. All right. Let's wait and see what happens. There we go. So, welcome to my live stream just after the victory against Dynamo Kyiv. We actually win away, and we actually win. Francesco, yes, indeed. Nice to see you. I'm surprised. I'm actually very, very surprised, positively, that we, first and foremost, that we won with a clean sheet. Well, come to think of it, basically, their team was so young. So for us, it was only natural to win this one. But anyway, this looked completely different from what we've seen before, much improved, especially in second half. The positioning overall looked much better throughout most of the game. However, personal attributes, personal performances, individual performances was not that great. And I'll take you through it, and we'll see. And we'll see where we end up with the player ratings, because that's what we're going to do right here. We'll do the player ratings, we'll do the full-time reactions from you guys, and of course myself. So Francesco is there. We win, but we didn't like it at all. Yeah, I gotta say, okay, yeah, that's fine, because I didn't like it either, especially the first half. Second half was slightly better, and of course after the 70th minute, I kind of thought, this is what the Italians do now. They will sit back and just invite pressure, because we're going to sit back and hopefully win this one 1-0. In the end, we won 2-0. But yeah, this is a good win for us, not only as a 3 points, as a result, but it's also a good win for us mentally. Now we know how it is to win in the Champions League away with this brand new squad. It is Pirlo's first game in the Champions League. Also, the players will now feel that they can actually trust more into Pirlo's tactics, because they know now this is a work in progress, and we see progress. Well, they see progress, not necessarily us as fans, because we are not on the pitch, on the training pitch every day, but they are. So they see, they work every day, and then the result is, of course, this win. So coming up to this game, they worked together, they trained, and this is the result. They go to Ukraine, they win, and they go back home with the 3 points. So this is the result of the work so far this season, and I have to see. I see some progress there. So it'll be exciting to see what we're up against in December, for example, because right now Cristiano isn't there, right? McKennie isn't there either. We're also wondering what's going to happen with Alexander once people are starting to get back into full fitness, and all that kind of stuff. And Chiesa, where is he best at? So let's wait and see what happens. But let's just go through this game first and foremost. Loreto is hi. I'll say hi to you, Loreto, first and foremost. Morata was so terrible in the first half. Yes, he was. He was very bad. He had a crazy bad. The touch was so hard. I tweeted something. I will not say that out loud, but I tweeted something earlier because that's what I thought it looked like. It was a very hard touch from Alvaro Morata in the first half. Second half, clinical, a poacher's goal, both of them. And this is what I've wanted to see from, for example, guys like Edin Dzeko, if Edin Dzeko had arrived at Juve. This is a classic Edin Dzeko goal, the first one and the second one. But now it's actually Morata, and it helps. It helps a lot, both for me personally, because I liked Morata as a player back in the day. Now he's back with us again, and well, you gotta root for your own players, right? Especially when they come back into the club and just barely played before they started the season, and now he played well against Roma and against Crotone, and now against Dynamo Kyiv, where he scored 2. So there we go. Yes, glad he scored twice indeed. Fazil, nice to see you too. Bonucci surprised me. Decent game from him. Yes, it was a decent game for him. However, at the end of the game, he felt something in his hamstring or whatever. So we'll see if both him and Chiellini are injured. Then we need to start to reshuffle again. And I'm so tired of these side challenges. These unnecessary things to think about. Like, now we're going to switch off the half of our center line and center defense. Why? Because Chiellini is injured, and now maybe Bonucci as well. I don't know, maybe he just felt a slight tingle. But it's always down to injuries. When you have the full squad available to you, it's so much easier to work on your tactics. But when you have key players out, like Bonucci, maybe, I don't think that he is, but if he is, then we need to switch it around again. And Demiral, of course, can come in, slot right in there. But now, since Chiellini is out injured, probably for a couple of weeks, Demiral will play instead of him. And, well, let's see. Matthijs de Ligt, wake up. We need you. ASAP. But he was working. He was during training session up against. Coming up to Frizz this game, he was actually included in on a training ground, so he trained with the team. So there we go. Morata was not great, but it wasn't his fault. No fluidity. Bentancur horrible. Yes, we'll come to that. Indeed, Bentancur was horrible. But let's start with the lineup. So when the lineup came out, it was so strange, because we had Wojciech Szczesny in goal, then we had Cuadrado originally on the left, and then we had Chiesa on the right. But when the game started, of course, we saw that was the other way around. Chiesa was on the left and Cuadrado on the right. So yeah, it kind of makes sense, because Chiesa is a pure winger. So that's fine. And basically for us, it was slightly more comfortable with having Chiesa on the left rather than having Cuadrado on the left. And then we had, of course, Chiellini, Bonucci, and Danilo in the center back three. Bentancur and Rabiot played in the center of the midfield. Ramsey ahead of them, just behind Morata and Kulusevski. Tim just joined me. Every time Bernardeschi changes his hair, he looks like a whole different guy. Well, he looks like a whole different guy, yeah, but it's the same player. Inconsistent. That's what it is with Federico Bernardeschi. Huzaifa says, hi, nice to see you during my stream. Hope you stay here until the end of it, of course. The first half was boring. I have to say, it was very, very boring. Morata's touch was bad. Bentancur was off pace. And then Chiellini got injured after 15 or 20 minutes. No surprise, by the way. I told you, the guy needs to retire from international football. Not that this was the international football's fault, but this is fewer games to think about for Chiellini. And now he's injured again. And he didn't play against Crotone. So he had actually he had a week's rest. I mean, this body is in shambles. This body, we cannot trust Giorgio Chiellini. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Giorgio Chiellini is not what we should focus on this season. Giorgio Chiellini will be a positive. Well, he'll be a bonus for us if he plays. For me personally, I'd rather start De Ligt and Demiral, and freaking Bonucci and De Ligt, Danilo will be in there. But Chiellini, for me, this is just too unpredictable. This is one substitution that we must waste on Chiellini when he gets injured. And I love the guy. He is, of course, a Juve legend, but unfortunately, as it always is with everything in this world, the time has come. It's time to say enough is enough. We need to cut down on something. So maybe the international football should be the first thing we should consider with Chiellini. Done. Just close it. Just whatever. Just let Romagnoli play. Let somebody else play. There is enough consistency in the back line of the Italy's national team, right? So for me, this was only natural that Chiellini sooner or later would be injured. It's yeah. And yes, hi Juve Daily, by the way, nice to see you as always present. Check out his YouTube channel, by the way, Juve Daily. Huzaifa says Chiellini is done now. Yes, unfortunately, yes, the time has come. And now it's the hamstring. Usually it's his thighs or it's his thigh. I think it's his thighs most and foremost. But yeah, I love the name. He says that. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a lot of messages on my clock. Marotta MVP, yes. Maran and Ramsey, Demiral were our best players. We'll come to that, of course. I disagree some on that, but we'll get to that. Chiellini, we cannot rely on this guy anymore. Let's focus on our youth, on our future, which is Demiral and De Ligt. And, well, Bonucci as well, because you gotta have Bonucci in there, even though nobody likes him anymore. But when push comes to shove, tonight, for example, he had a decent game. So there we go. He can still be useful, if not challenged defensively, really challenged. So against the quality side, like Barcelona, like, I don't know, Napoli, like you can find anything. Roma, he struggled big time against Roma, and Roma is just decent. But against good sides, this is where I think Bonucci will struggle. So be careful with trusting Bonucci. So maybe now, this season, at the end of this season, we should start thinking about the future of our defense. Never mind Rugani. Forget Rugani. Just sell him to whoever wants him. There we go. And then we had, and then Chiellini got injured, and then Demiral came on instead. Perfectly natural substitution, of course. But other than that, nothing special really happened in the first half, apart from that nice skill from Kulusevski. There was the chance in the first half. Betancourt looked sloppy. Ramsey was probably the only one who connected the dots between the midfield and the attack. Very active. I liked what I saw from Ramsey, even though towards the end of the game he was a bit inconsistent. But it is what it is. We are here and we win. Thanks to those guys on the pitch today. They did great also. I got to say also hi to Jeffrey. Good for Pirlo to win his first Champions League game. Yes. It is good, and it's vital for us, as I said earlier. It's vital for Pirlo now to go away to Ukraine, which is not an easy place to go to win. Imagine if this would have been in December. So we got lucky with the draw that we actually started this Champions League campaign in Ukraine against Dynamo, because as you clearly saw, there were some fans out there. COVID exists. Yes, they were all wearing masks, but still a lot of attendance during the game. So there you go. Tough place to come to, and we win away. This is not an experienced side. This is a young side, but still it's a good win for Pirlo and, of course, his players. So, yeah, andiamo, as they say. Sayantan says, hi, we played well, looks solid. We cannot play like Barca. Well, Barca can play like Barca, if you know what I mean. They're also in transition with new coach. However, the coach with much more experience than our coach. So, yeah, different outcomes. But still, I mean, we looked solid. We can Barca, the tiki-taka football. Is that what you're referring to? This is the past. We need to start thinking differently now. And today, what we saw was clearly different tactics, because suddenly Danilo, for example, was in the midfield, and then Chiesa was on the right wing towards the end of the game, and then I don't know, Bonucci was in the midfield. It was all over the place. And some players out there were very confused still, but it looked, as I said, more solid. Like I say, Anton says perfectly, we looked solid in positioning, much more much more solid than we did in previous games. So I gotta hand it to Pirlo for affecting this, basically, because this is on Pirlo. We see Pirlo's improvement. So yeah, I gotta hand it to him. Loreto, we honestly need Marquisio back. Well, unfortunately, yeah, the time has come. He's not there with us anymore, at least on the playing field. But it would be nice to see him at Juve, by the way, in the management somewhere. But I doubt that he will go that way. RB Combs is there, of course. Yashkel, Barca, Barca Toulouse, yes. Yes, Loreto says that I feel like we're still lacking that extra bit of passion or energy. Well, it's just the start of the season, even though we are at the end of October already. It sounds very crazy. End of October, we just played 4 games officially. So it just needs time. So take the time. And this game was a good game to have as well. Gain the confidence, as I said. Now we're facing Verona during the weekend. It's also a good game to continue to build our confidence. I fully expect us to win that game as well, because now I'm not even hoping for a win during this weekend. I expect a win based on what I saw today. Also, great to see Dybala back in there. Didn't do that much, but we saw clearly some positives, what he can do and where he will slot in. Kulusevski, unfortunately, anonymous tonight, but it is what it is. And Dybala will surely be a contribution for us during the season. So, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. And right now, I'm a bit positive. I'm much more positive than I was, I don't know, 3 hours ago. Nah. 20 hours ago, because 3 hours ago I was very positive. Fino alla fine, that stuff. Yeah, Mirgan says hi, of course. A great win, much more solid than the past 3 matches. Yes, I agree. We have to keep in mind that give them time to this team. Yes, I was a bit skeptical with Chiesa purchase, but he was great. Really like him. Yes, but we'll come to Chiesa, but I'll just mention one thing though. He is a very direct player. So what we have with Chiesa, we need to take. We need to consider it with a bit of salt, because he is a direct offensive player. When he loses the ball, he leaves so much space behind him. So, in order for us to compensate for that, midfield and the defense need to be aware, because this guy only is, as soon as he gets the ball, is just eyes down. And he wants to bombard forward when he gets the chance, when he has the space in front of him. Go. And I gotta applaud him. I was that way when I was a winger as well. I have the ball, I have the space in front of me, I have one stupid defender in front of me. I go at him. And this is what Chiesa did. And this is what Chiesa will do if he plays on the wing in the right position. I don't want to see him up front with Cristiano or whatever. He doesn't fit there. He is the purest winger. If you ever saw one, Jesus Navas, remember that guy? This is just exactly the same. The pure winger, no fuss, no tinkering about with him playing in the midfield or whatever. Put him on the wing and let him have some fun. Today, mind you, this is Dynamo Kyiv. This was not a very good side. It's a good win, but it's not a very, very good side. So if we play him on the left against Verona this weekend, he might not do that well. So, calma. Let's be a bit rational about this. Yes, he had a good game. The purchase, we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see how it looks like during the season. So far, though, positive. Absolutely positive so far. But we've seen this stuff before, guys. We've seen this many, many, many times. So, I gotta say, take it easy. And if he does great this season, the jersey is coming back on the wall with Chiesa on it, for sure. So, moving on. I agree it's a good win. I needed to boost the confidence. Yes. Harper from Trinidad and Tobago, as I always love to say. We win, but with the caliber of players in our squad, we should be playing better. And to Miriam's comment before, let's just give it some time. And yes, but it's early days, so let's hope it gets better with time. Juventus for life, indeed. Yeah, it's good. It's great. So we move on, and we'll see what happens during the Verona game, because we need those points now in the Serie A as well. Yes. So, and then there was a second half. Let's talk about this second half because that was much better, much better than the first half. Much more urgency. We clearly saw that there was whatever they did during the halftime break, it worked. Chiesa super dangerous on the left wing, cutting inside, toying with Ukrainian defense, and well, in the end, Ramsey back heel to Kulusevski. Kulusevski shoots on the rebound. Morata scores. Initial thought, I thought that was offside, but clearly the replay showed that it wasn't. So, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Funny thing though, I thought that this one was the typical chance that Juve will scrabble, what Juve will somehow mess up. Because when Ramsey starts back healing, this is going to waste. But goalkeeper spilled it, and Morata on the rebound. There we go. So yeah, Chiesa's work rate was good, but for me, he needs to improve defensively. He plays in that position. Yes, he plays as a wing back, a very offensive wing back. So either he improves defensively, which will then compensate for his offensive abilities, because then he will not able to be as offensive as he was, or our midfield or defense need to compensate when he will lose the ball, because eventually he will at some point, and then we'll be in trouble, like we were against Roma, like we were sometimes against Crotone as well. It's tough, but it is what it is. So they need to work on it if they really want to focus on Chiesa, and I'm sure they are, because they spent a bunch of money for it and for him. And the rumors are actually that Pirlo chose, I don't believe that, by the way, but Pirlo chose Federico Chiesa over Houssam Aouar to Juve. I don't believe that rumor, by the way. I don't believe it one bit. But that's another topic. Yes. Question from Pavan Kumar. Welcome to my stream as well. To you, will Arthur start against Barca? Early days, man. Early days. I know a lot of people are focusing on this battle of the giants, Cristiano against Messi, but for me, it's much more rational. It's much more down to earth game. I mean, there's so much more to the game than just those two guys. I want to see the guys like Arthur, for example. I want to see guys like Chiesa, what he can do against the giants like Barca, or so we say. I want to see something different. Maybe Dybala will be there. I don't know. There's so much more to talk about than just those two guys. So Arthur, thank you. Will Arthur start against Barca? We don't know. I doubt that Pjanic will start against us. If he will, okay, fine. But yeah, we'll see. We just have to wait and see. Because right now, today, however, Bentancur was not good. And I'll go back. We'll get back to the play ratings, of course. But Bentancur, guys, bad. Very, very bad. So maybe Arthur will be sooner or later will be slotting into that midfield. But then again, will Arthur fit the double pivot? Does he need two guys next to him? Or will it be enough with him and Rabiot? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see what happens third down the season. But with Arthur just coming on towards the end of the game, I don't know. Bentancur surely didn't have a good game today, so we might do something different against Verona. McKennie, of course, is still out with the COVID virus nonsense. So yeah, we'll see. Probably for sure, Rabiot will play, and I would like to see Arthur there from the start. So we'll see. We'll see. So, question from Tajai. Do you think Juve players are very close and crowding a lot in penalty area while attacking? Well, at least more than we did before. That's for sure. Because the second goal is actually a perfect example of attacking the space. We didn't have that last season. Last season, we only had Cristiano in the box and meaningless crosses from Alexandro, from Cuadrado towards Cristiano. Sooner or later, he would score. He would score eventually, but there was never a tactic. That looked like more and more desperation last season. Now we have Morata bombarding in there. We had Ramsey in there as well. I believe Dybala was also on the edge of the box. So we have different movements in the box when we have the ball. So there are some purpose to it. But of course, I don't see any issues with that, actually, crowding in a lot of penalty area while attacking. It's basically much better than we did last season. And that's a refreshing thing to see. Yes. Question from Harper: how long before De Ligt returns? Well, he trained with us for coming up to this game, so he is on his way back and looked quite happy. So I guess maybe a couple of weeks, 1 week maybe. We'll see. Maybe we will see him against Barca. Maybe it's too early. Maybe we should be maybe we should be a bit calmer with him and take the time, because if De Ligt, Chiellini now, we'll see what happens with Chiellini. If he's injured for 2-3 weeks, like it most likely is the case. De Ligt, we need to take time with him as well. I guess Verona, I wouldn't risk the guy. Let's play Bonucci and Demiral, of course, if Bonucci is fit. I don't know what happened to him towards the end of the game there. Touched his hamstring, but I don't think it was nothing serious. We'll see. But I'd rather not risk the guy before he is 110%. There we go. Question from RB Coms. By the way, hi, if I didn't say hi before. Have you ever considered doing it live watch-alongs? Yes, we did. If you guys don't know this, we have a not new, but we have a channel called La Panchina. Me, myself, all Juvecast, Alberto, great channel as well. Just subscribe to him as well. We have a channel called La Panchina. We do watch parties together with other Juventini, and then we upload the highlights of our reactions to whatever happens. And it is quite fun. However, doing the live watch-alongs would be fun, but it's exhausting file to go through when it's actually finally uploaded. And I rather want our fans, to enjoy the game rather than watch me, react to whatever. But it is a case to consider, of course. Thanks for the comment. Thanks for suggestion. And I will take it up with the crew, certainly. All right, let's move on. Daniel, before we go to the player ratings, Daniel says hi. Ciao. Always pressed. I like Daniel. Thanks for joining, Daniel. I think we should be thankful for the last 2 minutes of market moves for Morata and Chiesa. Yes, I agree. I was skeptical for Chiesa, though Morata is overpriced. Yes, I'm a bit skeptical of Chiesa as well. But so far so good. That's what I can say right now. So far so good. And Morata is overpriced, yes, but it's only an option to buy the guy. It's not an obligation. However, yes, 10 million as a signing on fee, I believe, is not or the loan fee, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is a bit expensive, but I mean, so far it works. It works out perfect for us. He scored both goals for us tonight, so there we go. Yes. Pavan, I still think you are not better if opponent starts counterattacking. Yeah. Well, if you watch the Roma game, this is your answer, man. Roma sat back, then counterattacked, and then counterattacked us heavily, and we were in trouble for many portions of the game. And the same can be said for Crotone, which is actually quite a frightful thing to say. The opposition looked decent against us. But I will say this, though. Against Dynamo Kyiv today, there was an improvement. I saw Dynamo trying to counterattack us, but we were positionally so much better than in those previous games. So we compensated for that when we lost the ball. And unfortunately, Bentancur lost the ball quite a bit. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's the case. The individual mistakes. That's what is the reason for the counterattacks. And when that happens, it has to be not in the crucial area. So, for example, if Bonucci has the ball, please don't lose it, because if you lose it, it will be in the crucial area of the pitch. Bentancur, if you sit deep and what you have 4 Dynamo Kyiv guys right in front of you, and if you lose the ball, those 4 will come bombarding against Szczesny. And what you have behind you, Bentancur, we have only 3 guys, maybe even 2. So I say be careful. Be careful losing the ball in those critical areas. So this is why maybe Arthur is a better choice sitting deep, because the guy apparently is very, very hard to lose the ball. He cannot lose the ball. So yeah, even though Arthur goes the heat map, the heat map of Arthur. Let me just draw this for you, because this is actually quite funny. Let me see if I can find. So if this is, yep, that didn't work. There we go. That didn't work either. What? There we go. Okay. What is going on? Can I have some pen, please? Okay, there we go. So if this is the pitch, this is Arthur. And then he ends up basically in the same spot where he started. This is Arthur's heat map. Looks like a peanut. and this is it. This is where he is. So instead of going back and forth with the ball, please pass it, man. Pass it. I don't care. I don't care if it goes back to Bonucci or even Szczesny. Just pass the freaking ball. But he is not easy to. He doesn't lose the ball that often. So this is why I think he's much more productive player to have just slightly ahead of our defense. But this is my opinion. But that's a good shout. Good shout, Pavan. Mirgan, what do we think about Kulusevski? Yeah, we'll come back to that when we go to the player ratings. Rahul, Juventus lose the ball very easily sometimes and don't try their best to get it back. Well, the initial tactic, the initial thought of Pirlo was exactly that, to get the ball back as soon as possible. Maybe this thought is now being processed a bit differently. They are getting the ball back, but not by, just running at the guy who has the ball, but position yourself correctly according to whatever the opposition players are doing. So yeah, I thought, okay, let them have the ball, but as long as you minimize the threat, it's okay. And these guys were not that great at keeping the ball as well. So we are fine so far. Of course, well, today we were fine, but slightly differently against better sides. So let's just wait and see until we face, for example, Barca, because that will be our huge, huge game next time. Then we'll see when we lose the ball, what happens. Who is the first one to react? What is defense doing? We'll wait and see. Yes. So let's do the player ratings, because this is always fun. It's always lovely. And since Cristiano is not in the team, it will be much more lighter for me to do this. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of hate coming my way, of course, because I'm an honest guy. If I see something wrong, I call it out. And fortunately, it's not always the case that it's allowed. Anyway, moving on. Comments. Bring me your player ratings, for example, while I go through player by player, and we'll see. First and foremost, we started with Wojciech Szczesny, as I said, so let's go to him straight away. I feel sorry for Wojciech for traveling all the way to Ukraine and making those simple saves. I mean, there was no challenge whatsoever. There was one time, one long shot, and that's about it. But never mind. By the way, one thing happened though, and that pissed me off quite a bit. You remember that when they had a free kick? They had a free kick, and Cuadrado and Aaron Ramsey were in the wall. Then suddenly, they took the free kick, and suddenly the wall just split, and the ball went right through between those guys and right straight through the wall. That pissed me off quite badly, because this is not what it is. This is not how we defend. So that pissed me off. Luckily, Szczesny was in perfect place and perfect time, so he saved that with no worries. But what are we doing? Those two guys keep it tight. Keep it together. Yeah, and also of course the misunderstanding between Rabiot and Wojciech Szczesny for when they started to well, Rabiot wanted to have the ball and Szczesny obviously let them know that this is his ball. So this is my problem with Wojciech, and I'm not criticizing him for this tonight because this was not the big issue tonight, but overall performance, overall play from Wojciech. He's a great shot stopper, great, but he needs to command the area better, much better. Because that Rabiot incident, it could end up in a goal for Dynamo Kyiv, and that would be a silly decision. Of course, it was stupid from Rabiot to go and attempt for that header, but still, this is ultimately Szczesny's area. So you let that guy know, do not touch the ball. This is mine, especially when you're coming out, rushing out like that. So yeah, that was maybe the only thing that I can criticize Wojciech Szczesny for, and that he needs to command his area better. Not only in those kind of situations, but also like the corner kicks, whatever. In dangerous situations like that, he needs to command the area better. Some of you guys say 7 for Wojciech, 6 for Wojciech as well. Yeah, I tend to agree. Let's give him you know what? Let's be nice. Oh, let's be nice. I probably butchered his name, by the way. No, I think I did it correctly. Yes, 7.7 out of 10. That's what I give him. 7 out of 10, and I'm quite happy with that because, well, we kept a clean sheet for crying out loud. So let's be happy for the guy. Of course, he rested against Crotone, so yeah, fit and ready. Yes. Moving on to, I will not rate Giorgio Chiellini, even though I thought he did okay up until he was injured. He could have scored 1 or maybe even 2 for the corner kicks, from the corner kicks, yes. But that was very weird at the start of the game, though. Left center back, it was Danilo for some reason. Chiellini was playing in the midfield, in the center back, in the middle. And then Bonucci was on the right side. So there was almost a turnaround, complete shuffle from Pirlo. I don't know what that was, but Chiellini looked comfortable right in the middle there. Well, luckily, up until he was injured, of course. So I will not rate the guy, but it is what it is. So I will rate Meris Demiral instead, who came on for Giorgio Chiellini. And guys, let's talk Meris Demiral. Because I know there are a lot of fans of Demiral, and rightly so, because he looked for most of the game, he looked solid. He looked good. He did better than Rugani would have done, for sure. Aggressive, direct. He isn't a shy player. He doesn't shy away from the ball. He goes at it, like crazy. But here's the thing, though, the crazy part. I've said this before. I think he is too crazy, too aggressive. He needs to calm down. And of course, he hasn't played that long with us. He was on the bench for most of the last season. And of course, because of the ACL injury. But even before that, there were very few times we saw the guy. So I need more time with this guy. I need more time, and he needs more time to play. So now, since Chiellini is out injured for a couple of weeks, welcome, Demiral. Prove your worth, because right now it looks like you will be playing against Barcelona. It may very well be the case. So yeah, I'm excited. But please, Meris, calma. Sometimes you are crazy. Too crazy, and I don't want that. I don't need that in those crucial games like the Champions League, where we need every single man available, because we don't want to lose you now for the red card. And then if you get the red card, of course, you will be suspended for the next game, which is Barca. So that tackle he got a yellow card for, dangerous. Calma, man. So I hope Igor Tudor, even though he is also was a bit direct, if I can call it that, has a talking to Demiral, has a sit down with Meris Demiral, and explains to him that calma, man, calma. But overall, I don't know, guys, what you think. I think it's just me being honest about Meris Demiral. I want to keep a level head about this guy. He's an exciting player. Yes, I love to have him at my club, but please, Mereich, calm down. What do I give him? I give him 7. What do you guys give him? I'd like to see what you guys also rate the guy. 7 for me would have been even more. It hadn't been for that, some of these challenges and some a little bit of the crazy stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see him play for us for the future as well. Pairing with De Ligt might be also exciting. It might not work. I don't know. We have barely seen them together, to be quite honest. So instead of just saying, yeah, they look good together because both are talented, they're young. Yeah, okay, but it doesn't always work that way. Remember when we saw Roberto Baggio and Del Piero, without comparing those two with these two guys, by the way, Roberto Baggio and Del Piero barely played together because though both the players were absolutely insane, but they barely played together because they didn't fit. So this is the thing. The chemistry might not be there, or basically they are too alike. They are too alike of the players, right? So maybe we should think about that as well. Fazil says Demiral is young. He will learn from his composure. Yes, at least we know how he tackled. Yeah. Well, he knows how to tackle, but it's hard. It's way too hard for me. 7 from RB comes as well. Travis, say hi to Travis. Nice guy, by the way. How will Ronaldo, Morata, and Dybala fit in this team? Yeah, this is a tough question. Well, I'll say Dybala behind those two. Just from the top of my head, with Kulusevski as a substitute. That's one of my initial thought, because I'm not sure how many games Ramsey can last during the season. One day he's injured, one day he's enough. He played one day he can play, but another game he will be injured. Today he played actually full 90, I think. No, he didn't. Bernardeschi came on instead of him, but he could very well play this the whole 90. So yeah, that's my initial thought. Dybala just behind those two. Yeah, so Ronaldo for sure will start. Maybe even Dybala and Ronaldo up front with Morata on the bench. I don't know. It's yeah, whatever. It's all up to Pirlo to decide. It's his problem. I'm just tinkering. So yeah, Meris Demiral 7. Leonardo Bonucci, our captain. Well, since of course Giorgio Chiellini got injured, so he got the armband. I said this before, and I'll say it again. Leonardo Bonucci as a captain, I don't like it. I don't like him being a captain, because the only thing that I see with Leonardo Bonucci getting the captain's armband is because then he gets licensed to talk to the referee. And Leonardo Bonucci always loved to talk to the referees. And now he gets actually the license to do that. And I don't think he did that today, but I don't see any effect from Leonardo Bonucci as a captain. No grinta, there's no yelling, like the good old-fashioned days. But it's just, I miss something. Why do you get the captain's armband? Let me know. Show me on the pitch why you deserve that one. Besides being the senior player, I mean, freaking Cuadrado is a senior player soon. Why doesn't he get the chance? Joking, by the way. Yeah, but I'll say this though. Today there was no ass defending like we used to, because they had basically very limited attacking options. They basically were not that aggressive for us. Towards the end of the game, they started to wake up and start. Come on, we'll just give it a go for the last 20 minutes. But he wasn't challenged that much during this game. However, I mean, solid. So I will rate him. Let's see. There we go. I rate him 7.5. In my opinion, what's your take on the Leonardo Bonucci today? I mean, this is what it is. If a player plays well, I'll give him credit for it. If a player plays badly, he will get the stick, no matter the name. If his name is Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, freaking Mbappe, whatever, If the player plays badly, I will let you know. I will rate the guy accordingly. So Leonardo Bonucci, even though I don't like the player that much, not anymore at least, not since he got back from Milan, I will rate him because he did well tonight. That's it. Bonucci's, let's see. Bonucci's distribution today was almost spot on today. Yeah, it was okay. It's nothing spectacular. I mean, we need to focus more on the part that is important as well as a defender, not the distribution part as well, but also the actual defending, because that's where he struggles. We know he's a great passer of the ball when he wants to, but I want to see him improving in the defensive part of the game. Today was not the game for him defensively because few challenges. Yes. So 7.5 for Leonardo Bonucci. Let's move on to the last guy, which I completely I struggled to find out. I struggled to understand his positioning tonight. Danilo. He started as a left center defender in a 3-man defense, and suddenly, and he loved to cut inside because he's a right footer, and this is what it always is. They cut inside. They use their right foot. If you use a left foot, if you use a right-footed player on the left wing or left wing back or whatever, they will cut inside. So was the case with De Sciglio. So was the case with Quadrado on the left. So is the case with Federico Bernardeschi because he cut inside. Yes, he did. This is what caused us to, well, that's what caused the 1-0. But still, he cut inside. This is what Danilo also did when he was playing on the left wing, left back, and now as a left center back. So this is what he did. But at the start of the game, he looked solid. And then it gradually went and average. The more the game, the more we played, the more average he became. So overall, Danilo was not that great, but he was not that bad either. So I'll give him. Let me just write it down. Sorry. I'll give him almost a 7, but I just give him a 6.5. Yeah, he did what needed to be done. Nothing more, nothing spectacular. Some mistakes, but overall, again, Dynamo Kyiv were not that challenging in order for Danilo to be stressed or to be challenged. So what they came at him, he dealt with it mostly comfortably. But yeah, 6.5 from me, guys. Yes. Chiellini was so great today. Selly feels like, yes, he was actually quite good. That's the thing. Chiellini was actually quite good today. However, the injury happened and we didn't have a chance to see him for the rest of the game. But this is it. As I said at the start of the stream, if you were with me at the start of the stream, I'll just repeat it anyway. It's time to say goodbye to at least international football for him. Enough is enough. Let's just focus on yourself and on your body, and let's see the limits. Because right now you had a week of rest after the international break. You came back, you played for 20, 15 minutes, and then you're injured. So clearly there is something wrong. Clearly it's something wrong. And can we trust this? No, I would not trust this as a coach. Of course, he's our captain, so unfortunately, if he is fit, he will start because he's our captain. But I cannot waste a substitution on a captain that is constantly injuring himself. Today it was hamstring, tomorrow it might be his thigh again, and then it's his calves. You know, it's all over the place, and then his nose, and then his head. It's the whole body basically. Just clone the guy, or I don't know. You've seen the last Terminator, Dark Fate, the improved human. I love the movie, by the way. So that's what I want to do with Chiellini. I want him to be improved, enhanced human being. That would be perfect. That would be insane, by the way. So please, Andrea Agnelli, if you have some money left in your pocket, make it happen. Just fire some Fiat employees and they'll be fine. 6.5 to Danilo. Shall we go to Federico Chiesa? Yeah, let's do this. Let's have some fun. Federico Chiesa. So we signed the guy. Was it, I don't know, 1.5 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago? We signed him, of course, before the transfer window ended, so 15 days ago. But he basically played for us only for Crotone, against Crotone, and an assist. And now let's call it an assist as well, because basically he created the goal. He gave it to Ramsey. Ramsey gave it to Kulusevski. Kulusevski shot on the rebound. Morata, goal. Boom. But always a danger going forward. My case with Federico Chiesa, as I said before, is that he can be too aggressive going forward. He can forget about his defensive duties, if he even had any. So yeah, it's a bit unpredictable. Against the better side, they will exploit this thing. They will exploit the flank of Chiesa going forward. So now we need to be careful, because now we actually had a good game with Chiesa. We did so last game as well, even though he got the red card. Luckily for us, though, he will be suspended during the weekend. He will not play. Luckily, I say, because Verona might expose that, because now they know that Chiesa is a very offensive player, and we use a 3-5-2 or whatever, 3-4-1-2, and Chiesa's offensive runs, they leave tons of space. So this is why our defense or midfield need to compensate. They did so today. Let's see what happens next time. He will probably play against Barcelona. That would be crazy, huh? That's kind of a crazy start for his Champions League career, no doubt. So, Federico Chiesa, well done. I gotta say, toyed sometimes with these Dynamo Kyiv players. I like it very much. And also didn't look like the player I initially saw a couple of seasons ago. He was kind of a diver, complained, always sulking on on his teammates. He always was a bit selfish, but now a bit more mature. And of course, some unlucky touches, some unlucky shots, some unlucky decisions, but the guy is 22. The guy is young and just arrived at the club, and one of the best players in the first Champions League game. So we gotta hand it to the guy. Very, very interesting to see what you guys think of Chiesa and his rating. I'd like to see what you rate the guy. 7.5 for Chiesa from RB Coms, 7 from Fazil. If you guys, any other guys, you have some suggestions, just slide them into the comment section. But I will rate him. I will agree with RB Coms on this one. I'll say 7.5 for Federico. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with what I saw. Of course, as I said, maybe it is just simply because the Dynamo Kyiv were not that aware of the spaces behind Chiesa, or it might actually be the case that we have improved positionally according to how we attack. So that's also nice to see. Yeah, so Chiesa 7 for 6.5 even. Wow, oh, that's a bit harsh. I really Suman, by the way, yes. 7.5. I think it means 7.5. Let's go with 7.5, Suman. That's fine. Yes. So from Federico Chiesa, Bernardeschi. Snap out of it, not Bernardeschi, Chiesa. I'm gonna make that mistake a lot this season. So yeah, be prepared. Rodrigo Bentancur played in the center of the midfield, and when I say played, I mean struggled. I don't know. It's something about him that I just don't like. It might be he is basically a victim of the Sarri era. He played a lot last season. He was great before the COVID lockdown. Then, after the COVID lockdown, when the games restarted, he was playing every single game. Some games he did great. Some games he did not do that well. And towards the end of the season, he was just gradually becoming worse and worse and worse. So he was absolutely gassed after the season. So this is why we haven't seen him that much so far. But this is his first game where I can see that. Well, he struggled really. He did okay against Crotone, but this time he was struggling. But I will give him some time this season, though, because remember last season, Sarri just destroyed the guy. He was tired, and then the international break, he leaves for those travels, and yeah, I got to protect my man. So today, of course, it was not his day. So struggled, very, very much struggled. I'm very tempted to give him a 4, but I'll give him a 5. I mean, he loses the ball in dangerous positions. He passes the ball very, very weirdly. Miscontrol, long passes, and stupid yellow cards. It's just all over the place tonight. So I was not surprised to seeing him leave, because at one point of the game, especially in the second half, I was like, enough is enough. Just go. This is not the game for you. And then the question even arises then, should we play with 2 men in the midfield if we have guys like Arthur or Bentancur who are struggling with a 2-man midfield? I don't know. Maybe it will take some time. We'll see. But today, not that great. 5, yes. 5.5. I don't get why. Daniel says, I don't get why people like on Benta. He has to risk it to create. To me, he was a solid 6. Yeah, there we go. I don't know, man. It's tough. It's to each his own. But for me, it was he lost the ball in critical moments, and yeah, I wish Bentancur, when he had the ball, it was not comfortable. I was not comfortable sitting there watching the game. I wasn't comfortable. I was like, wow, if he loses the ball now, we are in trouble. His positioning also was under the question as well. So I don't know. The game was not for him. Let's see if he can do better next game. I'll just end it at that. Which brings me to Adrien Rabiot. Man, I was pissed off on the guy when we steal the ball because they had a poor pass from the defense, and he steals it perfectly. He was aggressive. When he got that ball, I just had flashes in my head to the Milan game where he scored an absolute screamer. I thought, Adrian, shoot. Adrian, give it a go. Be crazy. Have a go. Instead, he had, if I remember correctly, I think he had Kulusevski next to him, and then he had Morata out wide on the right. He decided, or even Ramsey, I think, not Kulusevski, and then he decided for some strange reason to go to the byline, to the end of, to the right side of the goal, and to cross it to Morata. I mean, have a go, have some confidence. I think he thought himself, I did this against Milan. I really want to do it against Dynamo Kyiv as well, but I don't dare. I just don't dare. I don't have the confidence. I would have loved to see that, because those flat that goal, I remember it so well. He breaks through the whole midfield, the whole team of Milan. It just bangs in the goal, and today I just thought, give it to Morata. Give it to somebody who's in a better position than you are. But no, you decide to go yourself all the way to the byline and cross. And of course, at the end, we got the corner. Maybe we didn't even do that because the referee made a mistake there. But other than that, yes, he was aggressive to read. He was good reading the game. And at the end of the day, he was solid. So I don't know. I'll be nice. I'll be nice to him. So I said 7.5. 7.5 for me. For other Rabiot, maybe a bit generous, but there we go. Before we move on, there is a comment from Suman. I did not understand why Juve are not attacking when they have the ball. Rabiot has to run if he has the ball, or pass the ball. Yeah. I mean, well, you also have to consider what you have with you when you go attacking. You can't just attack by yourself. You need to have numbers with you, and also you have to remember who you have up against you. If you have 5 defenders against you, why even care attacking? Bernardeschi against Crotone. Remember him bombarding forward and just suddenly 360 and all the way back to freaking Bonucci or whoever he was. Yeah, that was crazy moment. But Adrian Rabiot, 7.5 from me. Juan Cuadrado. Let me have a moment. Because Juan Cuadrado, breaking news, had a solid game. Yes, I said it. Solid game. Wow. I mean, okay. Some of the crosses, some of the passing was shambles, but I kind of to expect this from Cuadrado. But that second goal was created by Juan Cuadrado and his beautiful assist. What a cross! Magic. Slices through the defense and Morata with a perfect run, perfect header. Wow. Overall, also, of course, there's stupid thing like he always stops and needs 2-3 touches before decide what to do with the ball. I've been saying this for 3 years now, and I'll keep saying it. Corrado is always the same in that department. But I find it hard to find any mistakes he did tonight that were so great. He did well. He did very, very, very well. So you know what? I'll be crazy today. I'll be crazy. Don Juan, Dancing with the Stars Cuadrado, 7.5. All right, that's it. That's my Juan Cuadrado show for you. I love the guy. I love the guy today, but let's calm down. Next game. As inconsistent as I know he is, he will be crap next game. We'll see. Prove me wrong, Don Juan. Prove me wrong. Yes. 7.5 from Travis, 7.5 from Fazil, 7.5 from Suman. Oh, there we go. Agree with me. That's nice. Always nice to see people agree with me. Just he was fair defensively too. But then again, this comment right there. I'll say this though: Dynamo Kyiv was not a great challenge to us defensively. We closed down well when we needed to, and we didn't need to be crazy in defending because we had such a great positioning skill, positioning awareness today. So, I mean, this looked easy to defend against Dynamo Kyiv. Well, at least up until the 70th minute. We struggled a bit in the 80th minute or so. I don't know if I remember correctly. But in the end, clean sheet. So there you go. 7.5. What do you know? Juan Cuadrado. Aaron Ramsey. It's just getting better and better here. Aaron Ramsey. Fit Aaron Ramsey. Great addition to this Juve side. Badly needed. This is the player who can connect the midfield to the attack. His runs are world class. His passing is sometimes a bit inconsistent, but his runs in the deep into the channels is world class. I've seen players do that, of course, but Aaron Ramsey is way up there. He's up there with the greats in terms of exploiting the open spaces in front of him. Today, also great skill, great going forward, also creating much for us going forward. Was, of course, substituted towards the end of the game for Bernardeschi. Another good performance. So 7.5. I'm sorry. I think he did okay. I think he did very well. As I say, there were, of course, some moments there that he was a bit inconsistent, made some mistakes, but it is his energy, it is his availability to other players that makes him so unique for us. Otherwise, it would have been stationary, with Bernardeschi drifting out wide, with with Kulusevski being inconsistent as well, with Aaron Ramsey in there. We know what you will get when you have a fit Aaron Ramsey in the team. You will get contribution, you will get runs into the open spaces, and you will, most importantly, get creativity. And this is what we need going forward. 7.5, yes. Again, well done. And then I will go down to Dejan Kulusevski. Not the performance I expected. I expected much more. I think maybe a bit nervous, a bit frustrated. He looked a bit frustrated. Didn't get the ball that much. It was always going to be a struggle for him when the game became like it was, the boring game. And when Aaron Ramsey kind of took over the role of being in the free role of creating going forward, Kulusevski just counted between the lines, and I don't think that he's a natural striker or an attacker. He looks more of a winger, creative player, like Aaron Ramsey, like Dybala. So I'll be excited. It'd be exciting. I wouldn't say exciting because it's the wrong word to use. I'll be interesting to see where Dejan Kulusevski fits into this team when everybody is available. Dybala, Morata, Ronaldo, Aaron Ramsey, of course. Where is Dejan Kulusevski in all this? Maybe the bench. And guys, calma. He's young as well. Let's see here. Dejan Kulusevski. What do I give the guy? I mean, his back heel, it was great. That was the chance. So for that alone, it's tough. It's very, very tough, guys. It's very, very tough. It's between 5.5 and a 6. I'll give him a 5.5 because I failed to see anything other than the back heel. I don't remember anything they did that was that great. And substituted for Dybala in the 55th minute. Well deserved also, unfortunately. But many more games to play this season, hopefully. Never know with this COVID BS, but I hope to see some greats from him. And remember, we saw some great football from the guy against Sampdoria, so it will come. It will come for sure. Also, Pirlo basically needs to find out where is his best position. He has a lot of players to consider, and this one is, well, no exception. 6.5 for Fazil, that's fine. Just going back to, Adam comment. I haven't seen your comment before, so I'll say hi to you before we move on. Go back and look at the ball Bernard gave to Chiesa. Yes, that was a great ball, actually. You had before Bernard can be in the Zambrotta. Yeah. I mean, Bernardeschi is an inconsistent player. I don't trust Federico Bernardeschi. That's it. Yes, he played a good game against Atletico 2 seasons ago. Enough. I mean, enough of that. Let's forget about that game, okay? We tried him at the right wing. We tried him at the left wing. We tried him in the middle. We tried him as a mezzala. Now I don't even know where we want him to play. This is also another player to consider. A great long ball does not equal for me that he needs to play consistently from the start. That long ball, mind you, and this is something to consider also. Danilo with left foot had a great cross right at the beginning of the game to, I don't remember. Was it Cuadrado? I think it was Cuadrado. I mean, we need to look at the bigger picture. When Federico Chiesa plays, sometimes he's good, sometimes he's just plain awful. Sometimes he's very average, inconsistent. But if we are to win the league, if we are to win the glorious Champions League, we need more quality. we cannot trust this player in terms of starting him. If you play the Champions League final, do you start Bernardeschi? I say no. Why? Inconsistent. I want to trust my players. And this guy can work. Yes, I'll give him that. He has the work rate and he has that sweet left foot. But is that enough? It's not enough. In today's football, it's far, far from enough. And even though that left foot is sometimes world class, but it's only sometimes. So yeah, but it's early days, as I said, early days for many players, including Chiesa, including Bernardeschi, including Dybala. Let's wait and see what happens this season. This season, for me personally, this is Bernardeschi's last chance to prove himself at Juve. If he doesn't prove himself at Juve this season, ciao. Bye-bye. Play consistently somewhere else, because we don't have the time, we don't have the space for you. Of course, we'll see what Alexandro is doing when he's back. Will he be playing consistently? Maybe Bernardeschi will slot in there as a left wing back, but we don't know. We don't know anything. But Bernardeschi and Zabota, not sure, man. But I mean, people are entitled to their opinion. That's fine. Excellent long balls and runs like an animal. Yeah, fine. I don't agree, because this is I tend to think of him as more inconsistent player, but it is what it is. Dejan Kulusevski 5.5. Let's finish off with Alvaro Morata. Awful first half. Weirdly so. Very, very weird. Very, very strange first half. Very hard touch. Almost as if I were thinking, this is Morata from the Roma game again. Going back to the inconsistent, the sloppy, the the rusty Alvaro Morata. And then something changed during the second, the break, because in the second half, well, he scored one and he scored two. He scored 2 goals where both of them were like pure poacher goals, especially that second one. I love the one. It's perfect striker goal. This is what I want to see. And there we go. 2 goals. Our top scorer. Of course, when Cristiano comes back, he will for sure claim the goal scorer spot. So it will be fun to see those two challenging each other. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I'm very, very happy. I'm very happy for Alvaro Morata now. Scored 2, won the game for us. Of course, beside those 2 goals, there wasn't that much of a great performance from Alvaro, but he was a poacher. He needed to be where he was, basically. So, of course, when you score 2 goals, my man, you get an 8. And no doubt about it. Of course, the first half was horrible, but without Alvaro Morata, we wouldn't have won this game today, because we don't basically based on what we did in the second half, because he's a unique, very, very unique player for us. He's tall, he can head the ball, he can be aggressive. We don't have that player in our team. We only have dwarfs, saying this with all due respect, but we have tiny players. Kulusevski, short one. Dybala, short one. Cuadrado is a winger. Chiesa is a winger. We don't have any prima punta, the pure striker. Alvaro Morata is the one. This is one they got. I would have maybe preferred somebody else, but it doesn't matter. Alvaro Morata is the one that we've got, and when Cristiano comes, there'll be even more threat in the box. So, yeah, I really hope Cristiano Ronaldo comes back as soon as possible, because, yeah, we need that flexibility going forward as well, because Cristiano will take a lot of space, and he will take a lot of players' focus, position players' focus, away from guys like Dybala, from guys like Morata, and this is when it gets very, very interesting. Let's see. Barca Cooler. We are very bad. You will beat us. Okay. Are they struggling against Ferencváros? I have no idea. I have to check. Are they? Let me see. Oof, what is going on, guys? If you know what's going on with Barca, just let me know in the comment section. 2-0. What's up? What's the problem? You lead freaking 2-0 against Ferencváros, and you think we will beat you? Come on, man. Relax. Barcelona. Ansu Fati and Lionel Messi as goal scorers. There we go. I mean, calma. And you know what? I have both of those guys in my fantasy team. Anyway, it is what it is. We'll see what happens against Barca. I don't care. And basically, right now, what happens against Barca? Because right now, the only thing I care about is the Verona game, if that's the one we are facing during the weekend. Or is it Friday? Maybe it's Friday. I don't know. Barca leading by 2. Yeah, thanks, Travis. Messi dive got a penalty. Yeah, well, there we go. I will not speak, because I will not have a war between Cristiano fans and the Messi fans on the channel. Not yet, anyway, but it will for sure come when we face Barca. Don't you worry. Guys, it's time to wrap up, I think. I don't think there is much more to say. I'm happy. I'm very happy we get those 3 points. I don't care about what Barcelona does. Who finishes first in the group, I don't care. I care about our own performance. And to be quite honest, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't care about the Champions League this season that much, because I know we will not win this. I know we will not win the Champions League. I can hope that we will win, but realistically, no. It will be unfair to expect it from Pirlo. I want my 10th Scudetto this season. Next season, we will see. If we get the 10th Scudetto, we can build on that towards the next season Champions League. If it will be a Champions League, I don't even know. With this Super Leagues and the playoff times, and COVID needs to get out of this world. I need my football back. I need to go to Turin. I miss those guys. I miss Turin. I miss going to the stadium. Okay. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Travis, Suman, Arbicoms, as always. Mirke was even in the chat. Thanks for commenting. Kulu, Ramsey, and Alvaro were all fantastic. I didn't think Kulusevski was that great, but I said this already. Teja, of course, and many, many other guys. Daniel was in there. Pavan was in there as well. And yes, Teja. Funny. Happy to see a win after 2 stupid draws. But remember, we got that mighty victory against Napoli. That was a crazy one. That was demonstration of power from Juve against Napoli. 3-0 victory. There we go, guys. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Arbicoms, and the rest of you, my beautiful, beautiful people. I love you. Thank you so much for joining. And I will see you for my therapy session this Friday, of course, as I will do this every Friday. And of course, for the post-match talk after the game against Verona, if it is Verona. Fino alla fine, Forza Juve, ciao.